Hey guys, so this video is on fraction division, and I'm trying a new video recording software, so forgive me if the effects are terrible and if the video doesn't come out all that great. But anyways, we're going to look at not just how to divide fractions, we're going to look at the why behind our algorithm, why does our algorithm work, and make sure we are comfortable applying the integer rules for division to fractions. So here we go. So I'm sure you've heard the trick of keep, change, flip with fraction division, but that's what we're going to actually figure out why it works and why we even do it. So do me a favor and consider this problem with me. 3/5 divided by 2/3. So just a simple fraction division. And you guys know to keep, change, and flip. In other words, the way that you've probably been taught how to do this is something like 3/5 times 3/2. So we keep the first fraction right here, we change the sign to multiplication, and we flip the one on the right, or multiply by the reciprocal. But I want us to take our understanding quite a bit further than that. So let's think about why that works. And to do that, we're going to rewrite this, okay? So let's see, let's get this out of the way here. And let's rewrite this as 3/5 divided by 2/3 in fraction form, okay? And this right here is just how we would write, like, if you remember, 2 divided by 3 can be written as 2/3. It's the same concept, we're just writing the division as a fraction, but the numerator happens to be a fraction, and so does the denominator. So that's why it looks maybe just a little different up here. So, okay, so we have our fraction up here. And anything, so let's write anything, any number, x, divided by 1 we know is going to be x. And so that means any number divided by itself is going to, or divided by 1 is going to be itself. So if we can get somehow this denominator right here, if we can make this denominator 1, then whatever's left in the numerator is our answer. And as it turns out, if you multiply a fraction by its reciprocal, which would be where you switch the numerator and denominator, you get 1. But if you remember, you cannot simply multiply the denominator of a fraction by a number without also multiplying the numerator to keep it the same value. So I can't just multiply by 3/2 on the bottom. I also have to do it to the numerator here. Okay, so let's see what happens. And you guys remember from our lesson on fraction multiplication that you can have you can cross simplify. So I have 1, 2 here, I have 1, 2 here, I have 1, 3 here, 1, 3 here. And so we end up in the denominator with 1/1. And in the numerator here, we have to do the same thing. So I don't see any way to cross simplify, so I'm just going to multiply across, and I get 9/10. So now I'm left with 9/10 divided by 1. And again, what's anything divided by 1? Well, it's just itself. So 9/10 divided by 1 is the same thing as 9/10. And so in essence, that's why the keep, change, flip works. So let me shrink all this down. And we'll do it the keep, change, flip way. So I'm going to keep 3/5, change it to multiplication, and flip 2/3. I end up with, whoops, I didn't flip it. Let me fix that. 3/2, you got to multiply by the reciprocal. So 3/2, and that becomes 9/10. But this up here, that's why it worked. So our last example, and now we're just going to review how to divide mixed numbers and what happens with the signs, and then the video will be over. So we've got this problem up here. -5.5 divided by 2 1/3. And remember, a negative divided by a positive is always going to be a negative. So I know whatever answer I get over here, it's going to be negative for sure. I don't know what the number is yet. Now, when you divide mixed numbers, it's a lot easier if you start by converting, it's hard for me to write on this, converting to improper, sorry, so sloppy, improper fractions. I'm going to get a stylus here soon. I'm writing with my finger today. And the reason I like this is because then it's easier for us to see what actually goes on. So let's try that really quick. So let's go ahead and convert this. So -5.5 would be -11/2. And 2 1/3 would be 7/3. Okay, so we'll set this up just like we did in the last example. And this is going to, we're going to want 1 in the denominator again. So if we multiply by that reciprocal, that'll work. But whatever we do to the denominator, we have to do to the numerator. Whoops, numerator. Here we go. So these cancel out, and we're left with just 1 down here. 1 over 1, which is 1. And then we multiply up top. But notice it's a negative 11 times a positive 3. So we have negative 33 over 14. And so this negative 33 over 14 over 1 is just negative 33 over 14. And then we can convert to a mixed number if we prefer, if we like it that way. And I think that would be equivalent to, let me get myself a little more room. I think that would end up being equivalent to something like negative 2 and 5, let's see, 5/14. So this right here in the denominator, that's why we keep change and flip. Now for the problems that I ask you to do on the website, I'm going to ask you to show what's actually happening. Instead of taking the shortcut of just rewriting the problem like this, we had negative 11 over 2 divided by 7 over 3. Instead of just rewriting it like 11 over 2 times 3 over 7, I'm going to ask, instead of just doing that, I'm going to ask that you go ahead and rewrite it, showing what the steps, showing why it works. All right, guys, good luck and thanks.